Ryan Bailey, Andrew Gibson, Peter Kaiser, Stefanos Constantino and David Baker to Peter Axford, and that is a 36 field of Group S cars, and we are underway. And have a look at Alex's start in the Porsche.
Yeah,
sweeps across the front of the Corvette and takes it into turn one. That's what he had to do.
Yeah.
He absolutely had to command this race right from the front. The 911 by Douglas Barber, he wants in on this as well, but here comes the Di Tomaso as well.
Yeah, they're as they lead down into turn three. Further back in the field, we've got a little bit of a challenge there coming from one of the Sprites and the TR6.
This is the blend, isn't it, of this sort of racing when you get to tracks like Winton, the great leveller. If you can get the power down and you've only got 100 horsepower and the guy with 600 horsepower can't get it down, you'll find that these little midgets and the Austin Healey Sprites and MG midgets and bits and pieces like that can get the job done very, very nicely indeed. A couple of alphas in there as well. They have got their standalone race right throughout this weekend as well. But what a terrific start. Alex Webster, super start. Really had the eyes for the lights there. Boom, clutch take up and just absolutely drove it away. No wheel spin. The Corvette by nature will sneak a little bit of wheel spin in no matter how good you are at modulating the clutch.
Yeah, and watching the guys going down around through the twiddly bits there, I see the Lotus of Rowan Hodges well back in the field, but that's not a normal place for Lotus in motor racing over the years. They've got a great name. As we zoom in on car 98, the Alpha heading up the back straight. Great looking shot on our screen.
That's James Ashby, the Alfa Romeo 2000 GTV. That sort of two-door coupe synonymous here. The lead has changed now. Alex has surrendered to the horsepower of the Joseph Di Bertoli Corvette, car number 2.
Well, once he gets in front, he's going to be a very difficult man to chase down. He's
proved it yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he ran away with it yesterday. Well, I shouldn't say ran away with it. He had to work for it. But look at the little Austin Healey Sprite of Meyer there. It is just niggling away at the back of the Porsche as they head on into the sweeper. Working really, really hard, coming around through there. Di Bertoli through the dog leg and heading down to the old tank corner. Meyer trying to come down the inside of the Porsche. That's not going to work for him. The door was closed on him.
Race 2 at this event last year was taken out by Porsche Doug Barber, who is currently sitting back there in third place in car number 911, and it was over Mickey Pielat, also in the 911, and an MG midget of Simon Meyer. We're watching Simon getting worked over at the moment, the Telbix proprietary limited car, and then it is to Carnaby Racing was Andrew Whiteside, but was Ray Nuckwitz was the first of the Corvettes in this race last year, coming home in 5th place. So at the moment, Joseph Di Bertoli are waving that flag.
And I see your 928 there coming onto the back straight, just gone a little out of screen.
Tom Alsteb doing a brilliant job, representing well, and he's not sure, does he slam it up the inside of one of the other Stuttgart Flyers there in car number 40, James Calvert-Jones? No.
James Calvert-Jones just got a little bit of extra grunt out of the corner there and pulled the gap on him.
Proves that Porsche could do it either way, didn't it? Rear drive, rear engine, put the engine at the front, drive it down through a rear transaxle and rear drive there as well. So the ultimate in sporting cars, that's for sure. And here's this great battle. Look at this. This is just how it's done.
Look at Meyer, how close he gets. Carrying that number 1 again, we might notice, on the smallest car out there, 1310 cc's, and just powering on, giving the Porsche a very hard time as they head up into the sweeper. Di Bertoli now back, still out in front. Got a comfortable little zone there. Meyer trying to work on the back of the Porsche.
Ooh, we've got one of the cars pulled up there. Looks like, I'm not sure what that was, but it looked like a Triumph.
Just out of shot, yeah.
Just watching the line there that Alex Webster was taking, coming out of the sweeper through the little flip-flop, and just sliding inside. All intents and purposes, it's a go-kart sitting there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Listed as the MG Tigger Midget, 1970, and as you so accurately touched on, Phil, 1310cc. Takes a lot away from the 3 litre in front of it, doesn't it?
That's right. It's probably carrying less than half the weight of the other cars, but still only 1310ccs. It's an amazing option that car is putting on track.
Actually, I've got to backtrack there. The 911 Carrera 3 of Doug Barber is 2,994. It's not a 3-litre.
So that's very close.
It's very close. We're on the margins. We're operating right on the bubble there. Let's hope it doesn't burst. But have a look at this now. This Corvette is driving away. Great shot we saw before of Alex really just flowing the car around the sweeper through the dog leg, well, not the dog leg, the flip-flop back into tank up at turn 7 there. He just had this beautiful flowing constant radius run, and have a look at this. The Tigger MG special goes down. There's the 32 that went off earlier in.
TR6 being dragged away.
Now that's the Paul Hogan car. So
back to the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Well, yeah, painting the bridge, but that's a shame. We don't like to see the cars stopping on the side of the track like that. The Triumph GT6 just under 2-litre there as well, out of 1968. Have a look at this. This is a battle for the ages as well. The Alfa GTV6, synonymous with Alfa Romeo right through the 70s and 80s, wasn't it? That body shape.
Yeah, for sure. And they're doing a great job further back in the field. The De Tomaso Pantera and your lovely 928 coming up the inside there. Car 3 doing a great job to pick off the 911.
Ross Jackson, who loves to prepare that De Tomaso to win, and at the moment he's doing a fairly good job of it, sitting there in P5. It's Jones and then Tom Walstep in the SC4 category car. Our leader is also the SC4. SC3 is Alex Webster in position number 2. Big thanks and a shout out to Aussie Soils, Cryo Cycle. Well, the move's gone there.
Move's gone.
Nice bit of power down there by James Calvert-Jones.
Yeah, that was a return serve there.
Wasn't
as
it?
he just managed to pick him off on that short little straights between those two corners down on the extended part of this track here at Winton Raceway. And look at the track, isn't it in great condition today? You'd want to be out there racing, and these guys are doing exactly that. The old 240Z coming around there.
They are very accomplished racers. The 240Zs were exceptional in the Mark sports car era, and certainly when they were put onto the dirt tracks and did rallying, they were exceptional piece of kit. A beautiful little Lotus there. Great to see. I think that's a 47. You'll correct me on that, I'm sure, Phil.
Oh, maybe not. The Lotus Elan that you were looking at.
Yes.
I'm not too sure just what year that is, but they've been around for a long time.
They certainly have. Lotus is, of course, famous for the founder of the company saying the car just has to be engineered to the finish line. What happens after the finish line doesn't matter.
If it falls apart across the finish line, it's all good.
That's exactly
Perfect
right.
engineering, according to Colin Chapman.
That's exactly right. He did say it more than once too.
Yeah, he did. And of course, the word Lotus got turned many a time into lots of trouble, usually serious.
It did, and I can tell you at this very track with an Elise, the first one that was raced in this country, with none other than 3-time Gold Star winner Paul Stokel at the wheel, that's what we had. Lots of trouble, usually serious, but a fantastic mark of sports car that has stood on the top of many, many podiums around the world in many, many forms of racing. So there's not a Lotus that I wouldn't like to have in my shed, that's for sure.
Meyer still niggling away at the back of the 911. He's not giving up. All over it like a cheap jacket.
It certainly is. The 32 just going through there. That's the 34 going through there. Tony Outtown out of New South Wales, and just watching now for some of the mid-pack cars there. A couple of Alphas. They'll have some double duties here this weekend. A great weekend to travel to Winton if you've got an Alpha race car. You've got the Group S eligibility, and you've also got the Alpha Racing. There's another one of the Corvettes, car number 85 out there as well at the moment. That's Stephanos Constantinos, the 1971 Stingray type of Corvette.
As you're talking him up, he gave the back end of that car a bit of a tweak coming out of turn 3.
Why wouldn't you? 350 Chev, plenty of horsepower on board there, and that's what they're doing. Currently sitting in 18th place. So just looking at the couple of cars there in front, the Alfa Romeo number 86 of John Floyd, GTV Alfetta. And we go back to a plethora of MGs
midgets and all sorts of things further back there. And Rowan Hodges in the Lotus of Land coming up there into turn one. But Di Batello out in front. He's already lapped the slower cars at the back of the field. Fastest lap time so far for Di Batello is a 1:36.4. Well, last time around he did a 1:37.5. So he's got the gap and able to maintain it.
Nice work indeed. So hanging on for it there. The number 7 now coming out of turn 3. Alex Webster. And just seeing that blue Corvette disappear off into the distance. Now got a good couple of corners away. 7.5 seconds. The lead, we've just got 45 seconds left on the clock here. So I would suggest we'll come round. Last lap board will come out, and this car has a further lap and a half to continue. You'd have to suggest also, Phil, that if it went just a little bit longer, the Porsches would start to come back to the field. So there's the 911 of Doug Barber.
And did you notice who was in front?
Missed it.
Mr. Meyer was in front. He's got the pass on, so he's picked up a position on the way around.
And that's changing when they come down the straight. So that's that horsepower advantage, isn't it?
Absolutely. And but look at this, the big Chevy of Di Batello heading for the finish line this time around. We're going to have another lap, I think. I don't think we've picked
that checkered flag has been dropped.
We're right on that time limit, so by about point something of a second. So that was very close to not having to do another lap.
Certainly was. So let's now watch as this battle continues right throughout the field. The 9, the Porsche Carrera, started this race down the field just a little bit, but just watching Richard East in that 3 litre, the 76 Porsche, coming out of turn number 10. Starting to work the back part of the new part of the circuit, the 86 in behind. And the 86 of John Floyd, which we saw earlier on with the yellow nose cone, which is significant in Alpha racing circles.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeos, beautiful little cars, and known for their handling and stopping in particular. Great little machines.
Well, Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gear fame says everybody has to own an Alfa at some stage to appreciate it. I agree. I came home from hospital in an Alfa. I don't remember it, obviously.
I was going to say after which accident.
So we've had the screen go race finish, and it's now gone green again. So maybe the checkered flag didn't come out. Maybe it's continuing on. Well, this time around it should come out. Because there is our race leader, and we've ticked off all the boxes. Yes, there is the checkered flag, and it is Bertolli again takes the win. So 2 from 2 races so far in the Group S.
He's notching up the points on this one.
Absolutely is. Alex Webster does a terrific job to bring it home. After leading early, he succumbed to the